Word. And I am going to mute everybody. I'm just going to go through and mute everybody but Allison.
Sweet.
All right, take it away, girl.
Cool. Well, thanks. I'm excited. I wasn't really sure what I should talk about tonight at first. I felt like I am a stay-at-home mom, so I would kind of work my business similar to the way that Lisa does. And so I am going to talk a little bit about my time blocking and kind of how I do that and when I work. But I guess one of the things that is most valuable to me in the business, and kind of one of the things that I come back to is why I've been successful over and over again, is because I focus on the fact that it's a people business. And so I'm just going to kind of walk through some things that I think are really valuable to remember in our posting and in our working our business, and just some things that have led me in the last couple of years to continue to be able to hit Success Club and build a business and things like that. So the first thing that I would say is that we have to connect to people. Like, we have to recognize that this business is all about people. And so if we are going to connect to them, then they have to connect to us as well. And so one of the things that, I mean, it's really obvious. We talk about this a lot about your posting, that like what the post that you create, you know, you kind of have to have your ideal audience in mind, whether it's a customer or a coach, and the stories that you write are going to connect to certain people and not connect to others, and that's okay. But one of the things for some of us, like, I know we struggle at times to like how do we connect? And my story is not very exciting, or my transformation is not a whole lot right now, and so I'm not doing great in my business. But one of the things that I would encourage you to look at is where in your life naturally are you connecting with people. So not just on social media or through the business, but where normally do you connect with people? Like, who do you connect with really well? Where do you connect with them? And then why? So one example is like Tanya and I connect to a very different group of people. Like, Tanya teaches classes at her gym, and a lot of her connections come from people that go to her gym. That's a natural connection for her. She works in a school, and so she's got people that she works with at her school that she's connecting to. And so Tanya might not be posting on social media the exact same way that I am, but she's connecting to people in her business. For me, who am I connecting with? I'm connecting with, right now, obviously, pregnant women. And in a few weeks, it'll be postpartum women. And so where am I making those connections? Well, a lot of my life revolves around where my kids go to school, the playgrounds in the town that we live in, the church that we do. My husband's staff as a pastor. And so a lot of those places are where I would naturally connect to people. And so when I am thinking about my health and fitness business, like, I'm looking at, like, where am I and what did I need at this point in my life? Like, what do I need for pregnancy and the people that I'm connecting to? And so what then do our programs have to offer them? Because it's going to be really different. I'm not, and so I don't have, honestly, I just don't have a lot of working moms that connect well with me. And so when I post things that are like a quick 20-minute workout, I really don't get a lot of traction. But when I am posting about the fact that, like, my kids are all around me and my kid's sick or something, but I can still get my workout in, that usually connects to my audience. And so, like, recognizing those natural connections, I think, is really important. Now, it doesn't mean that all of the people that join me are stay-at-home pregnant women by any means. Actually, I have a lot of older women join me because of my mom. Like, that's a natural connection that my mom joined me. And so a natural connection is that all of her friends have joined me as well. And so focusing on those pockets of people that you're already. So the first one was connecting with people. And then the second one is valuing people. It's really easy to feel super stressed about hitting your goal or earning the income that you set out, or, rank advancing, and look past the people that you currently should be adding value into, I guess. And so there's two parts to valuing people that I really focus on in my business. And one is valuing the prospects of people that have not joined me yet. And the second one is then valuing my current customers, challengers, and things like that. And I'll kind of walk through exactly what I mean by that. So the first part is that when you have people that are interested or reaching out or commenting or liking or following whatever part of your journey, look at those conversations that you're having with them. Are you asking them questions? One of the things that I think is really important in valuing them as a prospect is, are you showing them that you're going to actually coach them in your conversation with them? I think a lot of people join me because in my conversation with them on the front end, I talk about the coaching part. I don't spend a lot of time talking about the products or the programs. I spend a lot more time talking about kind of how I'm going to walk them through their journey, I guess, if that makes sense. And so I think that's really important, and it shows value for them to trust you, that this is their health and fitness journey, and that you are giving them the tools to kind of get them started. And so I think valuing people means that you're not fitting them into our stuff, but you're using our stuff to help them in their lives. And I think people want to see that. So that's for prospective joiners, I guess, in my business. But then this is where my business has sustained and has grown a lot, is through the customers that I get. And so I shared this on the last team call that I did a few months ago. I have a pretty high retention rate of customers. If you look at not necessarily monthly Shakeology buyers, because I really don't have a lot of those, not necessarily active discount coaches, because I don't have a lot of those either. But definitely people who stick with the programs and who continue on each month in my groups. And so that becomes valuable, because after a few months, they'll be interested in our new program, or they'll be interested in trying pumpkin spice, or they've gotten some extra money and they've seen the value in our programs, and so they want to get Shakeology again. And that, to me, is just a piece that I really do focus on, adding value into my challenge groups, checking in with my people. I create a lot of content for my challenge groups. I just do, because I think it's important. I want my people to stick with me, and I don't want them to be bored, and I don't want them to feel like I'm just popping in a post, and then kind of walking away from them. And so I really think it's important that you show your customers the value, and I've seen the return on that, a lot. I mean, a lot of my Success Club numbers this spring have come from people whose bot have run out, and they're getting a challenge pack again because they're still going with me. And a lot of my income is a random person who's hey, I'm gonna order Shakeology this month. I haven't gotten it in 6 months, but Allison's been checking in on me, and I'm still with her in these programs, and so now I want more. And so I just can't stress that enough, because I think it's really easy to focus on our posting and our inviting, which is definitely the vitals and super important, but don't walk away and not coach the people. That's my biggest thing, that are with you, because that's our responsibility, is to encourage and support them, especially if you're promoting your groups, which is what I do. Anytime I promote, I'm pretty much always promoting to a group. And so I just think that's important that I follow through with that. So connect with people, value people. And then the last one is just recognizing that this business is people. And what I mean by that is on sales essentially, and coaches that we have on our team, but being frustrated with them, or like almost getting to the point where we're catty or we let them go, things like that, that's not going to drive our business in the end. We might be right and they might be frustrating us and we just want them to join in and to help our business and to grow. But patience has always won out for me in this game. So if I have a coach who's like going inactive, but she was, an emerald, or like being patient and recognizing that these are like, this business is people and people have lives and like things are happening in their lives. So I'll give you this example. I have a girl who, she's been a customer for 2 years. She has been reaching out to me for like last month, like, I'm going to buy. She was going to start with me this month, like last month in my last group. And I was getting really frustrated because I was spending a lot of time like walking through the different options for her. And she kept telling me last Friday, like, I'm going to do it on Friday. I'm going to do it on Friday. And I'm feeling the pressure because I'm not in Success Club 10 yet. And I just felt so much pressure. I just wanted to keep following up. Like, we all feel that pressure, right? But I don't, because I have a system for following up. And my system said that you follow up every 48 hours and then you wait a week, right? And I'm kind of like sweating it. And this morning she called me and said that she'd had like a really rough week and that she knew she needed to do this, but she had been putting it off, and that she just appreciated that I like waited on her and that I was patient with her. And like within 30 minutes, she submitted her challenge back order, And so like, I know that, I can paint like my anxiety gets bad too, because I want to hit my Success Club numbers and I want to like control the situation, and I want to see that my invites are like fruitful, I guess, right away. But recognizing that like we have to keep talking to other people, because we can't count on like these people and be mad at them or frustrated with them. It's not going to move your business forward, I guess, if that makes sense. So I think it's important to recognize the people part. And then one of the things, so that was it, like recognizing that this is a people business, I think is just super important. There's something I was going to say that I wanted to come back to, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but maybe in a minute I will. But so valuing people, I think, is just really important. Like coaching people, that like my whole business is the part that I like the most really is coaching the people, and so I just really think that that's like what is sustaining my business and what has sustained it for 3 years. And so like, I will continue to do those things, to coach people well and to like give them follow through. And it pays off, because I have people all the time who will just mail me like a gift card and say, thank you for coaching me. And they might not buy a product, like they may have gotten their one challenge pack, but like, I just think that goes a long way, and it always pays off in the end. So that's what I have for a number of like the whole starting of what I value in my business and kind of how I move it forward. But I know a couple of people have asked me to show you kind of like how I work my business. So I'm going to just do that really quickly, if that's okay. Is that okay with you guys? Okay. So I use the Rise Up Planner. I switched. So I was using Teamsy for tracking, and now I'm using the Rise Up Planner. And so like, I can't really show you the whole thing, but you'll see that. And if you've seen Melanie do this, she does it better than me. Honestly, but you'll see that I have color blocks in here. And so every single week I sit down, and there's a space where you can write like your actions for winning the week. And it's up to you what you choose. And so obviously we have our vital behaviors, like, did I invite the people? Did I connect with people? But one of the things that I always put in mind is, how have I added value into my group today? And then how have I added value into my current coaches and customers? And that's something that I just check off every day. And so it could be as simple as like, hey, I reached out to a coach on my team and said like, how are you? Like, are you doing okay? Or I've reached out to some of my people who've been going for 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything. And I just think that's a good habit to be in. I think it's really easy to focus on our new invites, and I just think it's a good habit. So I put it in there. I do that every day, some type of value that I'm adding somewhere. And that can be as simple as my meal plan, but just making sure that I'm adding value, I guess, to go along with the first part of my thing. And then I have like my social media posts. There's a place to plan my posts. And so that's the other thing that I was going to talk about. Like I have a marketing plan every single week, and it doesn't start the day of. I'm going to post it usually. I come up with a plan and I sit down and I talk about like when is my next group? Like I already know, like my October group, I know what I'm doing. My November group, I know what I'm doing. My December group, I know what I'm doing several months out, honestly, because I want to be able to think long-term about my marketing plan. Like I think it's really important that throw up and they're great. Like you never know what posts are going to do well, what's going to connect to people, but having an overall plan makes me feel more organized and gives me confidence that I'm going to connect with people at some point this month because I've got these posts ready to go. And so when I do my marketing plan, I make sure that I have at least 2 to 3 story posts that are going to connect with my people. And so like tonight's was a transformation post of my friend Lindsay, and she's a mom with 5 kids. And so like that's going to connect to people. And so that was like one of my, like, I always have 2 to 3 of those. And then I make sure that I have something with my kids because like that's a major connector for me. So there's going to be a post with one of my boys. Like there just is. Right now I'm pregnant. My weekly to my post, I always get a bunch of likes on those. And so having a kind of a general plan for that is important, but also a long-term plan. So my CTA for either Sunday or Monday night is planned several weeks out. Like I already know that next Sunday I'm going to post about how summer's over and we've got 4 weeks until Halloween. Like I already know that something crazy happened in this game. And then I know that like in November, I'm going to start talking about the fall holidays and I'm going to come up with crock pot recipes or things like that. In December, I know that I'm going to talk about all these things. So just like having a plan, I think is really important, and it takes some time. Like I'll just be honest, it takes some time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm writing every post. Usually I do. I usually do write my post ahead of time. But it does mean that I have like a general marketing plan. I think that's really important. So there's a space for that in here. I'm going to show it to you. And I just take my pictures. I write the post in my notes section. A lot of times I go ahead and load them into Instagram because I post the exact same thing on my Instagram and Facebook, which is what I do. And so a lot of times I have those written. So like, I think right now I have like 5 posts that are written for the rest of the week. So that the days that I like don't have any motivation, I've still got something to put out there, which I think is important because some days like lately I've had 0 motivation to write posts. So I'm really thankful that I've done that ahead of time. And then the last one that's really changed for me lately is that I've really been writing goals that are short term. And that's really different. Like we talk a lot about our vision boards, and obviously everybody's like, oh, I want to get in Success Club this month. Like that's a goal. But this planner has a place where you list your yearly goals, your monthly goals, and your weekly goals, and then your 3 most important meetings or events for the week that you're focusing on. And so focusing on my monthly and weekly goals has been a game changer for me, because even on the months where I'm like, I didn't sell a challenge pack this week, that stinks. I can look at my weekly goal and go, but my weekly goal is to earn $250, and I earned that through VOD subscriptions or whatever. It's really helped my like mental like ability to press forward by not just focusing on Success Club numbers or a challenge pack or new signups or a coach sign up or whatever. seeing smaller goals, I guess, and different goals. Maybe I've expanded my goals. So I'm focusing on point volume and earning money. And then like I even have in here that like I want to get my husband to Success Club this month. Like that's my monthly goal. And so my weekly goal this week is to get myself to 10, and just really breaking that down week by week. Like I'm not saying this goal at the beginning of the month and then not looking back at it. I'm looking at it every single day. So I know like today I made $90. So I've got $200 more to make, in the next couple of days or things like that. Has really helped. And then lastly, the part of the planner that I really like is where you literally write out your whole schedule. I mean, you can time block your day. And so I time block my day because I'm not working my business from 4:00 until 8:00 at night because I'm with my kids and we're doing dinner. And so time blocking my day reminds me that like there is a time that I can work. And so it doesn't all happen like sitting down in an hour. So I do a part of my business. I do my invites and my friend requests and a lot of those quicker things in the mornings during my power hour. And then I have several blocks of time where I do projects. And that's like preparing things for challenge groups and making images for social media and post writing and things like that. Because I was finding that I was spending a lot of time working my business, but I didn't have a clear picture of like what I was doing during those times. And it was getting all jumbled and it just was messy. And so I kind of separate my time now and do project time at a separate time than I work my power hour. And that just kind of helps me. And I keep like a running list of projects that are like on a post-it note of things I need to do. So like tomorrow for my project time, I'm working my projects from 10 to 12 in the morning, and it's going to all focus on the last 90-day challenge or the holiday hustle that I'm getting ready to run. Like I'm going to be looking for resources for that and pulling together that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So that's how I work my business. And then the other thing that this planner has, so that's my weekly kind of thing, is that it has a customer hot list, which I really like. And it's just for the month. Like it's a list of people that you're talking to for the month. And so this is not my like invite list because sometimes I invite a bunch of people based on like a recipe. This is who has responded to me or specifically asked for information or commented. So this is someone who's taken an action step towards me. And that is a separate list for me because I don't like to get bogged down in the long list of people that have not responded. Like this month, 24 on my hot list, I guess. And the hot list just kind of transfers month to month. And so I've signed 4 of 24. And it's easy for me to look at it and get a real picture of how many people ask for information versus how many people sign up instead of how many I'm inviting. Because like that gets really overwhelming to me to look at. I'm inviting 200 people every month, but 4 of them are joining me. And so keeping like a smaller list of people that have taken some type of action step kind of gives me a little bit more like confidence to keep going, I guess, if that makes sense. And it's real easy to flip back in this book and just go, oh yeah, I forgot I was talking to Sandy last month and she never responded, but she took at least one action step. So now she goes to my new month, I guess. Whereas a lot of other people that don't take an action step towards me, like I'm not wasting my time on them the next month. Like I'm just not going to. They'll reach out again if they want something. So I think that's it. That's really all I wanted to show you. But if you don't have a good system for kind of working your business and tracking, or even like something just to check off like what you're doing, I really do encourage you to get this planner. Like it's not very expensive and it really helps you kind of focus in on like who you're talking to and kind of what you're doing. And it's flexible because it lets you put in what you want to be doing to work your own business and not like sent 10 invites or sent, whatever. Like it's just like weekly, you can add in and pencil in what you're doing. And so I really like that because I like to kind of have my own modifications to things. So I think that's it. questions. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions for Allyson, feel free to go for it. I hear laundry or a dog. But I think what you shared was really important, that I think a lot of times, I don't know about everybody else, but we get so caught up in the numbers of it. And we all just really focus on like Success Club. I got to hit Success Club. Hold on, I got to move everybody. It's driving me crazy. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. But I think your point about relating to people in what season of life you're in, because I know we've talked a lot about, sharing posts and things like that. And although it's nice to help out our team, it doesn't really benefit your business, because all of us are in different seasons of life. And you have to take that step to figure out, like, who am I? What do I struggle with? What do people like me struggle with? And then you have to talk to those people and relate to those people, So I think that's really important, is to kind of find the 3 to 4 things that you as a person, where you are in your life. Are you a stay-at-home mom? Do you work? Do you have kids? Are they in school? Are they in preschool? Are they babies? Are, like going through that list and really just identifying who you are and who you relate to most is really important. Just my 2 cents. Anybody else have feedback or questions for Allyson?
I just think it was a really good reminder about adding value, because you're right. So many times we get bogged down in the details and we're inviting and we're just not, there are just so many different aspects. And like you said, coaching is my favorite part too. So making sure that we're coaching, I just thought that was a really good reminder. Good.
And the, being there for the people, like once you make the sale or sell the challenge pack, it's not over. It's really just beginning, so making sure that you fulfill that commitment to that person to help them get results, and be their coach. There's a point where you have to draw the line sometimes, with the hand holding and whatever, but I can't tell you, same thing Allyson said. My list of retention from 80-day obsession, I would say my list of people who did 80-day obsession, 80% of those people are doing Morning Meltdown 100, because I retain my customers, because I keep them excited and I continue to talk to them every single month or week or whatever it is, so never like letting that relationship fizzle is so important.
Yeah, and I just think adding value, like when you're talking to people, is so important. Like there's a lady who, she started with me this week, and she's older, and she's like, I don't know that I can do this, but I'm gonna try because I want to. And like adding value into that conversation looks like I take the time to really go pull the program conversation with her on the front end. It's time consuming and it's more work at times than just like copying and pasting my general, like, here's what our programs are, but I really think that goes a long way with people trusting you, even if they don't join right away. Like a lot of times I'll have, like, I had this other lady who was like, I've been doing Weight Watchers and I did the gym, but when I talked to you last year, you talked a lot about support and accountability, and now I think I need that, and so just kind of being, like really showing, I guess, what the program, like what we really do. Like, I think it's just really important, and not just being like, it's $150 for the whole year. You're not going to get it any cheaper. And that's true, but we also have a lot of things that we offer that are more beneficial than the cost.
Yep. Anybody else want to chime in? Questions, comments? The biggest question is, when are you going to have that baby?
Good question. Hopefully not tonight.
Please no.
I'm just kidding.
When is the actual due date?
2 weeks from today. But my kids have never come on their own, so it's like a joke that I'm having all these contractions, and my husband's like, I don't know why you're worried about it. He's not coming. So.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to keep Allyson any longer. She needs her baby rest and beauty rest. But if you guys have any questions, I'm going to post the recording in the team page. So if anything comes to you tonight, I'm sure Allyson can come back on tomorrow and answer questions for you guys. But I think it's just so important to hear from other people, you know, kind of what priorities they have in their business and how they work their business, not necessarily the tasks, but like their thought process when they sit down to actually work. So hopefully you've got some good info tonight. Thank you, Allyson.
Thank you
for having me.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stop the recording.